Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another football related video. To those of you who watched my week 1 predictions, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I hope to bring more of these to the channel, and that's exactly what I'm about to bring you in this video. Now I know I missed week 2. That's because I just let time get away from me. I was working. I waited too late to make the video, but I'm going to do it early this time because I'm actually on vacation this week. I don't go back until next Tuesday. So what I'm going to do is I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 games that look really interesting to me. And what I do is I pick games each week that I think are going to be really fun and exciting. And I give you my predictions. I give you my potential upset alerts of the week. And believe it or not, I actually have a couple of upset alerts this week. And one of them might actually surprise you. So without further ado, let's get started. My first game that I think is going to be an upset alert is Florida State versus Syracuse. Now, a lot of you are probably saying, Florida State versus Syracuse, that's an upset? Well, think about it. Florida State is 1-1 on the season. They didn't do well against Virginia Tech that opening week. They got destroyed, pretty much. And then last week they struggled with Samford, a team that's actually from my home state of Alabama, the Samford Bulldogs. They struggled with Samford and barely beat them, only by 10 points. So things are looking pretty good for Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse, if I did my research right, is 2-0, surprisingly. So I don't think it's out of the question at all that Florida State might actually lose this game. I mean, Florida State's new head coach, Willie Taggart, I'm not sold on him yet. And I don't think that Florida State is going to have a good season. I mean, they're starting off the wrong way, and I think those problems are going to continue into the season. I mean, just because you get a new head coach doesn't mean you're going to be successful. So I actually see Syracuse pulling another huge upset, because if you remember, Syracuse is the team that actually knocked off Clemson last season, and nobody thought that was going to happen. So I think Syracuse is going to do it again. They are going to upset Florida State. And if I also did my research correctly, I think this game is actually going to be at Syracuse, so this is going to be a huge notch in the belt if Syracuse is actually able to pull off this upset in their home stadium, is what I was trying to say. Okay, next we have a top 25 matchup that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. We have number 17 Boise State against number 24 Oklahoma State. I think this could easily be the sleeper game of the week because no one is talking about these teams. No one is talking about how this is a top 25 matchup. And I got to be honest, I haven't seen any Boise State games or Oklahoma State games this season, but I do think that both of these teams being ranked in the top 25, I do think it's going to be a really interesting and fun game. I think it's going to be back and forth, really high scoring. Both of these teams, when I think of both of these teams, I think of offense. I don't really think of defense that much. So I think this is going to be a shootout. And who do I see winning? I got Boise State on this one. I think Boise State is going to beat Oklahoma State. And yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a shootout, a really high scoring game, possibly in the 40s. I would say Boise State is going to win 42-35. That's my prediction. Okay, next we have another upset alert, and you guys are going to be shocked at who I put as the upset. I actually think my team, the Alabama Crimson Tide, is going to get upset by Ole Miss. Yes, I said it. Because look at how Ole Miss has done this season so far. They dominated Texas Tech in their opener, and then they put up 71 points, albeit it was a cupcake team. But Ole Miss, I think, is going to be a dark horse in the SEC this season, and I would not be shocked at all if they did the unthinkable and knocked off Alabama. I mean, they've done it before. And I don't think Alabama should overlook Ole Miss. Now, even though I'm an Alabama fan, I'm still rooting for my team, but I'm not going to be totally upset if Ole Miss loses if Ole Miss wins, because Ole Miss is a good team this season. From what I've seen and how they dominated Texas Tech, and they kind of dominated that FCS team. I don't remember who they played last week, but that FCS team actually ended up putting up 40 points, 40 or 41 points on Ole Miss. So that says a lot of people are worried about their defense after that performance. But I think it's going to come down to offense. I think this is going to be another back and forth type game. I don't think Alabama is going to dominate like they normally do against opponents. I think Ole Miss is going to stick in there with them. And I'm actually going to say that Ole Miss is going to do the unthinkable. I've got Ole Miss upsetting my team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I think it's going to be a final score of 28-24. Kind of low scoring, but hey, that's what makes predictions so fun. You never know how it's really going to go. Okay, next we have number 22 USC versus Texas. Now, USC lost last week to Stanford, a really good Stanford team. I've been impressed with them so far, and I think that Stanford definitely deserves to be in the top 10. And if I'm not mistaken, they actually are number 10 in the polls right now. So USC, they dropped out of the top 15. Now they're number 22 after losing to Stanford, like I said. And they go against Texas. Now, Texas has struggled. There's no doubt about that. Texas was upset in their opener against Maryland for the second season in a row. But, I think that Texas is going to be angry. And I don't really see a lot of promise for USC this season. So I'm actually going to pick another upset. This is like the third upset that I've picked. Normally I don't pick a lot of upsets, but hey, I'm feeling extra confident this week. I don't know why. I think Texas is going to upset USC. And this is a good rivalry. I mean, this was a national championship game way back in the day, so these teams have a lot of history. And I think Texas is going to pull off another miracle. It's going to be another miracle upset this week. I think it's going to be another kind of low-scoring game. I think Texas is going to win really close. Probably, I'm going to say 21-17. That's my prediction for that game. Okay, next we have my SEC game of the week. Number 12 LSU versus number 7 Auburn. And this is the game that I'm most excited for this week. My dad, who passed away a couple of years ago, was a diehard LSU fan, and my best friend is an Auburn fan. And, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. This is definitely the game that I'm looking forward to the most this weekend. And who do I see winning? I have no idea. I couldn't even begin to tell you who I thought was going to win this one. Both teams have looked fantastic. I mean, what LSU did to Miami that opening week, nobody saw that coming. Myself included. I thought that LSU was going to get dominated, honestly. And that didn't happen. So that was a pleasant surprise. And Auburn knocked off Washington in their opener. That made them a legitimate threat too. Both of these teams are legitimate threats, not only not only in the SEC, but also a potential to make it to the college football playoff. Yeah, I'm saying that. This is a coin toss for me, but at the end of the day, do I think LSU could pull off another upset? I don't think so. I don't know. There's something about this Auburn team that I like, and I'm not just saying that to make my best friend feel good. I mean, that's how I legitimately feel. I don't know. There's something about this Auburn team that I like. I really like Jarrett Stidham, the quarterback for Auburn. But Auburn has a huge chip on their shoulder. I mean, they just knocked off another top 10 team, Washington, to start. And if they can knock off another ranked team and a really good LSU team, I think no doubt that Auburn's going to be in the top 5 next week, the week after this. So I think that Auburn is going to beat LSU, another really close game. But I don't think it's going to be as close as what I've already predicted. I think Auburn's going to win by 10 points. I think it's going to be, I'm going to say Auburn's going to win 28-18. Yeah, weird score, but I don't really care. That's why this is called a prediction. It may not happen. You never know. And finally, this is the nightcap game. This is the game that College Game Day is going to be at this week. And it's number 4 Ohio State versus number 15 TCU, Texas Christian University. Now, this is another, actually no, I was going to say this is another toss-up for me, but I really don't think it's going to be. I mean, TCU has been a good team for a while now, ever since their head coach Gary Patterson has came to TCU. I don't know exactly how many seasons he's been there, but he's done some good things. And even with the whole controversy surrounding Urban Meyer and his 3-game suspension, a lot of people probably think that TCU is going to come in and just, keep it close with Ohio State. But I honestly don't see that happening. I mean, a lot of people thought that Oregon State was going to be Oregon State is who Ohio State faced in the first week, and a lot of people thought that without Urban Meyer that Ohio State wasn't going to be focused and they were going to take Oregon State for granted. That's not what happened. And the same with last week. I don't know who they played last week, but Ohio State is going to keep rolling without Urban Meyer, without the controversy. Doesn't matter. I mean, the controversy does matter, but you get what I'm saying. As far as on-field play goes, it hasn't hindered them at all, and I don't think this game against TCU is going to be close at all. I see Ohio State walking all over TCU. Probably, I think the final score is going to be somewhere 42-17. I don't expect TCU to put up that much of a fight. Now, I would love to be proven wrong about that. I would. But I just don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, guys, that is my Week 3 predictions for the college football season. What do you guys think? Do you think that I'm right? Do you think that I'm totally crazy with these picks? Of course, that wouldn't surprise me if you did thought that. But anyway, give this video a like, thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Tell your friends, tell your football friends about me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Now, my next video is going to go back to music, I promise, for my music people out there. It's going to be a top 10 video, so that's coming real soon. So, thank you guys for watching and listening to me ramble about college football. I will see you guys next time. Take care.